Ah, you must be an adventurer. Welcome to the Potion Shop.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Potion Shop. Glad to have you here in the store. Today, we're talking about how to open Umbral Engrams in Destiny 2. So, Umbral Engrams are earned through gameplay, and you have to take them here and open them up. But a lot of people come here to the Umbral Decoder, and they don't get shit. So that's why I'm here. So basically, long story short, you need to find Drifter's Hideout. This is located at the tower, and once you go to the tower, it's going to be on the left-hand side. There's a teleport location at the bottom. So a lot of people, what they do is they head to the tower, and then they get there, run over to the Drifter, and then they don't have anything they can do with their Umbral Engrams, and they're wondering, why can't I do anything with my Umbral Engrams? So the answer to this is actually a little simpler than you think it is.
I see.
So you get here, right?
Hey,
You open it up.
now or what?
And then there's nothing here. Sorry, nothing's going on, right? And you know this is where you're supposed to go, but why isn't it there? So the reason it's not here is actually because you have to go to your quest menu for the seasonal quest, right? So once you go to your seasonal quest, there's going to be a quest tree that you have to complete. This is going to take you back and forth between a Drifter and the Prismatic Umbral Decoder, or whatever that thing's called. You're going to have to go back and forth a little bit and do a little bit of the seasonal quest. And once you get far enough into the seasonal quest, you'll be able to use the Umbral Decoder and be able to decode your engrams and get your loot that you want. So once you progress, you're going to do the exact same thing, load into the tower, run over to the Drifter, and this time, it'll actually work for you. So if you're looking for how to do it, this is the most basic you're having trouble with it, that's how you do it.
Thank you for choosing the Drifter Decoder.
So if you're a little more advanced tutorial, we got that for you too. So stick around. Now, if you want to make your loot a little more specialized, you can go over here to the Prismatic Recaster. You'll have Umbral Affinity, and then you have Bounties, and you have Rewards. There's a lot going on here, so we're going to try to break it down into something that's a little bit more understandable. As you rank up, you'll also get more Umbral Engrams from this as a reward as well. Alright, so the first one is Umbral Affinity. There's two different parts to it. One is Umbral Focusing. Umbral Focusing allows you to basically pick and specialize what kind of loot you're looking for, right? Are you looking for armor? Are you looking for a weapon? Are you looking for legacy equipment, right? I really like this direction that Bungie's taken the game. It gives the players the choice of what they're looking for rather than just leaving everything up to RNG, so I like it. So Gifts of Light and Dark is really cool because it's sort of like a passive skill tree that you get to unlock as you progress through the season, and the rewards get better and better and better through it. So one of the ones I want to have here as a special mention is the Umbral Mastery 1. This allows you to get 3 light higher, maybe it's 4 light higher on your first 3 decodings of Umbral Engrams for the week. This is really, really big, especially when you're trying to gear up the highest light possible in the game. So definitely don't forget that. The next one is Bounties. Bounties are pretty simple. You have Twisted Energy. This is what you need to actually level up your Prismatic Recaster, right? You need 500 Twisted Energy to level up. And then for actual doing the focusing, you need Altered Element, right? Altered Element allows you to actually do the focusing. It costs 50 at the start, 50 Altered Element to actually level up. And the additional bounties do nothing for you other than EXP. And then you have Rewards. Rewards are pretty straightforward. You have a daily mod that cycles every day. Then you have 4 mods that just stay there permanently. And then what's really cool is the Trace Override. Now, this is meant to be an in-game item. So this allows you to basically pick the primary stat of the focused gear that you're creating, which is really, really cool. Really, really good. So, how do you get these Umbral Engrams? Well, the answer is you can get them from basically anything in the entire game. The way I like getting them is on IO. I heard also Titan and the activity Contact. Alright, so you've gone here, you explore around. The spawn location is random. There's usually like 2 or 3 different spawn locations for this. Once you found it, it looks something like this. There'll be a place where you can put down a beacon, as well as a rally banner to get yourself your super and some ammo. And that's all you have to do. You started the event, and if there's other people nearby, they'll usually come around because this is something that everybody needs to do almost on a daily occurrence. Now, the way this works is basically there's 4 phases. You have to fill up the machine with 100 motes, is my understanding. Once you do that, you have a phase where you have to defeat the Taken, and as you progress, it gets harder and harder and harder. If you want to make this a heroic event, you'll have to find energy that is from the darkness, and you'll have to actually put that into the machine, and we'll see that later on. And you can see here that we now are entered the first wave of Taken, and we have to basically defend the machine against the Taken. Once they're wiped out, you'll move on to the second phase or the third phase of the fight. Now, one thing to note here is that every phase that you progress, the light level of the monsters gets higher. So the initial light level of wave 1 is 990, then the second wave is 1000, the third wave is 1010, and then the last wave is 1020. So the light level progressively gets harder as you get farther into this. So that's something to be aware of, that if you're lower light, you need to be careful the farther you get in. Now you can see here that this is one of the special darkness energy motes, and you can basically keep on filling up the machine with it if you just drop it and pick it up, drop it and pick it up. I'm not sure if this is intended or not, but it's currently how it's working, and it seems to be a really cool way to min-max the event. So that was the completion of the second wave, I believe. And as you can see here, the monsters that are spawning in now are harder to kill and greater in number as well.
Protect the contraption.
Now you can see here this light beam is coming from the darkness thing. This is where you can find the darkness mote, which is going to give you a ton of energy for the machine. Now if you don't collect this, then the monsters will collect it and then run over and shut down the machine in the middle of you trying to collect motes. You can see here this player is dropping it, picks it back up, has full motes, throws them into the machine, and just repeats this process over and over and over again until we have the machine filled out. You can see there's a monster there that got close, and that shut down the machine. So it's a really simple mechanic overall, right? You're just trying to defend the machine, fill it up with motes. Very, very simple, just like Gambit. But overall, I think it's a very enjoyable, and I think it's one of the best season events, honestly, they've done in a while. So I hope they do more things like this in the future. One last thing to mention here is that the boss at the end of the fight changes every week and has a new mechanic. So last week, it was a mechanic very similar to Gambit Prime, where you had to defeat harpies, you had an ogre you had to kill, and in this particular week, there's actually 2 monsters that spawn, and if you don't have them near each other, they have an invulnerable shield that you can't destroy. So you have to get the monsters close to each other in order to actually deal damage to them. Which is really, really cool, and I am really curious how many different bosses are in this season event, because that really will change up the feeling of it every week, along with the location changing every week and the final boss changing every week. I really feel like this has a little bit better longevity than previous season events did. Alright, there's our Umbral Engram. That's it for the video, guys. Thank you for checking it out. Hope you enjoyed it and it helped you out. I'll see you later. Also, I also stream on Twitch, so if you want to check that out, that's in the description. Have a good one.